Right, so today we will be going over what remote high ticket closing is. Now, I know you've been hearing the term remote high ticket closing a lot. You may not understand what it means. A lot of people are in the same boat, so hopefully this YouTube video can help you out and help you get a better understanding of what high ticket sales actually is, how people make real money from it, and see if it is actually for you. So today I'll be breaking down exactly what remote high ticket sales, how it works, what you do on a day to day during remote high ticket sales, the commission structure, earning potentials, the myths about remote high ticket sales, and how to get started the right way. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will know whether this industry is the right fit for you and how to take your first steps into the industry. So we will kick it off now by moving into what remote high ticket sales is. So remote high ticket sales is very, very, very simple to understand. It's the process of taking simple high ticket offer sales calls, qualified sales calls may I add, that can range anywhere between 1.5k to 50k plus. Now, I'll get onto the commission structure later, but just remember what the costs for them are and how it could benefit the commission structure. So it's very different to corporate sales roles. You won't be cold calling, you're not knocking on doors, you're closing deals with prospects that are ready to buy, and these calls are already booked into your calendar. So your only job as a remote high ticket closer is to turn up, basically. That's as simple as it is. So you will have a call booked in personally for you. Say for instance it's at 11 a.m. on a Thursday, and your job is to turn up and just sell them. So as it says here, you're just the final step in a business sales process. You're the person that helps the prospect decide whether the offer is right for them, and you're the person that collects the final payment. So that moves me on to my next point. How does it actually work? So in simple terms, here is actually how remote high ticket sales works. So a business generates leads through ads/content. So to break it down for you, this will basically be someone who has already showed interest in the product. They've already shown a lot of interest in the product. And then from then on, people will apply and they will show interest/book in a call. And then it's the appointment setter's job from here to try and book yourself as a closer the next call. So it'll be the appointment setter's job to build that interest, make sure it is actually for them, and if it's worth it to book in the call for the closer, such as you. So you as the closer jump on the call, the booked call. So it's your job from here to jump on this book call. So say for instance, like I said a minute ago, if you had a call on Thursday or Friday at 11 in the morning, your job is to just jump on that call. You ask questions, understand their problem, and guide them to a decision. Now, if they're a right fit, you'll close the deal, collect cash, and take your commissions. Now, like I said, I'll get into the commission structure in a bit, but that is essentially how it works, from taking someone from being interested all the way to bringing them on board. And that brings me on to my next point. So regular sales versus remote high ticket sales. Now, someone who's been in both industries, I can tell you the complete difference. So the difference is, with regular sales, you're constantly cold calling, retail or corporate job, completing the full sales cycle, low ticket or corporate products, high volume, cap commissions, long hours, and fixed salaries. Now, someone who was working on an FX floor and an investment broking floor, I can tell you this is how the corporate life is. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can agree. Commission structure was a big thing for me. It was cap commission, paid out at the end of every month. You're not sure how much you're going to get taxed at the end of the month after you commission. It was stress. And you were cold calling for 5-6 hours a day, completing 300-400 calls. It was a lot of stress. Now, if you like that, then fair enough. But personally, it wasn't for me. So getting on to the next point, remote high ticket closing is the complete opposite. Now, as someone who is currently in remote high ticket closing and has been for the past 9 months, I can tell you this is the complete opposite of a corporate job or any sales job. Now, It's higher commission rates, qualified, warm, ready to buy leads, higher quality conversations, higher close rates, bigger and uncapped commission checks, work from wherever you want, work the hours you want, and all you need is a device and Wi-Fi. Now, someone who I've just got back from, I could call it a holiday, but it was sort of a work trip. So I went by myself to Italy, Thailand, and then Australia. See, these are the luxuries that I couldn't have when I was in my regular sales role, but now I am in remote high ticket closing. It is just the complete opposite. So as someone who did go away for about 2 months, I was working every single weekday for 2, 3, 4 maybe hours, just completing warm inbound calls that were already booked in for me, that the appointment setters already booked in for me. So I see a lot more benefit in remote high ticket closing, and hopefully you will too. But high ticket sales is less about pushing a product and more about diagnosing a problem and guiding a prospect into a decision. Now, this is very key because you have to make it clear that this offer may not be for them. It may not be for them. It's not for everyone. But it is your job to work out and suss out if they are in the position where they will benefit from buying off you. Now, you have to believe in the product that you are selling. So that takes me on to my next point, closing versus setting. So appointment setting and closing are two completely different roles. Now, after what I have explained, hopefully you do sort of have a basic knowledge of the difference between closing and setting. So as I said before, setting focuses on DMs, cold calls, booking prospects onto calls, responding and sparking conversations, and qualifying leads. So as I mentioned before, it will be the appointment setter / setter's job to find the people that are interested. You will be provided with these people. So it's sort of like a corporate sales job where you're chucked with a bunch of leads who already have interest in a product, and it's your job to just open them up, see if it is for them, and try booking that next call. And then that moves me on to the closers. So the closers will be taking the actual sales call, meaning they will be selling the product there and then, uncovering the prospect's pain, presenting a solution, and closing the deal. So closing a deal obviously is the most key thing when you are a closer, because that is how the commission structure is brought in. So closing and setters, massive difference, because in simple terms, as a setter, you're seeing if there is interest there and trying to book in the next call. Closer, it's your job to take payment on the phone and see if it is actually for them. So as it says here, setters fill the calendar, closers convert the calendar. Closers control their own income, setters rely on closers for their income, which is a very key point, as when I was a setter on a corporate sales floor, I had to rely on the closers to close my calls. Obviously, you're not doing that, so you're unsure whether the call will actually get closed, which I didn't like, because it could have been the best appointment setter in the world. But if the closer's not that good, or if the close isn't getting closed, then what's the point? Because you won't be seeing any commission from that. So personally, as a closer, I find it a lot better, a lot easier. As personally, I don't like running through a lot of leads. I just like taking longer inbound calls. So yeah, which one is for you? As I said, I've always recommended closing, because overall it is more of a valuable skill to have. To learn how to sell someone is very key, in my opinion. It can take you very far in life, and most setters transition into closing anyways, so why not just become a closer at the start and build those skills from early on. Now, you may see all these people send appointment setting courses online, but if you notice, a lot of these appointment setting courses, everyone eventually transitions into closing, because closing is where the best money is at. You see double the commission when you do become a closer, and you're closing your own sales at the end of the day. So, I mean, why not do it? But that moves me on to my next point, my favourite point. How does the commission structure work? Commissions. My favourite thing. So, the beautiful thing about high ticket sales is that you get paid out on commissions daily. Now, this was a massive thing for me, converting from the corporate sales role all the way to the high ticket sales closing role, because when I was in that corporate sales job, my commissions were getting paid out at the end of my monthly paycheck, which it was nice, but you get taxed a lot on it. So unlike a regular 9 to 5 where you need to wait for the paycheck, this time you get paid first, as I just said. So commissions are paid out daily. For example, I have here, this was a deal I closed the other day, £5,000, and I took £500 commission home that got paid out at midnight the same day for me. And these commissions can scale very, very fast, like I said. So you'll be earning usually anywhere between 10 to 20% commission for every deal you close. Now, as you can see here, this is an example of some of my commissions that I did get. Yeah, so you can take between 10 and 20% commissions. I take 10% on most deals, but I don't really mind that. So if you close a 5k deal, 10% comms, £500 earned, 20% comms, £1,000 earned. I'm sure you can figure out the maths. But yeah, it's just one call, and with the right skill set, you can easily earn 5, 10, 15 and 20k a month as a closer. And inside Open to Close, we have 50k per month closers. Yeah, how to get started with Open to Close. Yeah, there's two ways to get into remote high tickets closing. Trying to learn the skills yourself without much guidance, and then outreach to offer owners and sales team managers to land an offer. Personally, not really for me. Or a mentorship program like Open to Close, where you'll gain all the training, all the materials, all the practice and one-on-one coaching from me and our coaches, who have all personally closed millions of sales in themselves and will place you in an offer. Now, if you were to go through things, you will meet all of our sales coaches. They're all lovely people, all have earned money, all have been in the corporate sales industry as well. So it's not really a surprise that everyone is moving away from the corporate sales industry. I mean, hopefully that you can actually see that the corporate sales thing will sort of soon become an old thing. So like the first point says, trying to learn skills yourself without much guidance. Personally, I know a lot of people that have tried doing that themselves rather than paying for a course. They think, okay, why not? I can learn it. Personally, I think, yeah, you can learn these skills online, but not to the best of your ability. So to actually have that one-on-one intense training, it makes such a difference. So personally, this option I wouldn't go for. Don't get me wrong, you can learn a few bits and bobs, and you probably can get half decent at sales doing this method. But personally, one-to-ones is where the results are at. Being in person positions where you're doing role play with your sales coach, etc., I feel like that is the best way to do it. So yeah, that's basically a easy understanding of what remote high ticket sales is. So just to break it down, as I'm sure a lot of you will understand, but yeah, that is remote high ticket sales, what it is, how it works, what you can earn, and exactly how to start. Now, if you want more videos breaking down techniques and psychology behind closing, hit the subscribe button and drop me a follow on my Instagram. My Instagram will be linked on this video, and it will be linked in further videos. It's TomBrack_. Now, if you do have any queries, any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll always be here, always available to help. So shoot me a DM in my Insta, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you very much.